In this video, you are going to learn how to network like a CEO. So whether you are trying to get a new job outside of your company or you're just trying to move up the corporate ladder faster, you need to know how to network like a pro. So whether you are trying to network internally or externally, all of these concepts and tips will be applicable and will help you build your network so that you can progress your career a lot faster. And if you want more career tips just like this, make sure you click subscribe down below if you haven't already, or share it with a friend who would find this to be helpful. So the first thing you need to know when you're trying to network like a CEO is that you don't need to have a huge network and be talking to hundreds of people all the time. Instead, what you really need to know are the super connectors. A super connector is someone who maintains a massive and diverse network, but most importantly is willing to connect people together within their network. Not surprisingly, a lot of these super connectors are both the same people that you would want to be in contact with and make sure are close to you and your friend circle, whether that's internally or externally. If you don't know where to start or who even a super connector would be, I recommend you start with recruiters in your field or other executives who work in the same job or industry as you. Remember, CEOs don't waste their time trying to network and please with everyone that they meet. They know who to spend their time with and who will have the biggest impact on their career so they can be really efficient with their networking energy and time. Now, the second thing to keep in mind if you're trying to network like a CEO is that you need to leverage your LinkedIn. This is a phenomenal networking tool. Now, I know you've been getting tons of messages from recruiters trying to spam you about jobs that you aren't interested in, or maybe you don't even check your LinkedIn very often. But when you are trying to network, whether you're trying to get a new opportunity or move up the corporate ladder, you should be checking and leveraging your LinkedIn messages to see who has messaged you in the past and who you can be talking to right now about a new opportunity. So I highly encourage that once a month you should at least check your LinkedIn messages, see what recruiters are contacting you for external opportunities, and maybe even some of the really old messages from up to a few months ago, because recruiters, just like you, will also be moving around to other companies, and maybe now a recruiter is at a company that you want to work for. So it doesn't hurt to re-engage and talk to them again. Also, while you're on your LinkedIn, you might as well go through there and see who are your connections and make sure that you are keeping in touch with all of those people who are your super connectors or are just some of your really good colleagues, friends, and former bosses or mentors, and see where their career is at right now and make sure that you are doing regular check-ins with them. Remember, just like I said in the very first point, you don't want to lose touch with any of these people that are really powerful and influential in your network and can help you either move up the corporate ladder or find other great opportunities outside of your company. Another networking thing to keep in mind is that your competitors are not your enemies. I know your companies will be competing for similar customers and even competing for talent to hire other people, but it doesn't mean you should be ignoring people who work for your competitors. In fact, a lot of these people can be hugely beneficial for your network and your career. So when you are at your industry events or you're at sales kickoffs or other networking events within your industry, don't ignore these people. In fact, they should be number one on your networking list for you to connect with, reach out to, and just build a relationship with. Even though you are competing in terms of your day jobs, it doesn't mean the two of you can't be personally close friends with each other. And also keep in mind, if you aren't getting the promotions that you want or you feel like your company isn't going in the right direction anymore and you're feeling a little unsatisfied, your top competitors would love to hire you, especially if you have a really strong track record. Now, CEOs also know when it's strategically the best time to use their political capital and network appropriately. Having a great and strong network is really only half of the equation. The other half is knowing when and how to use your political capital and your network at the appropriate time. For example, if you want to get promoted at your company, but you're not 90% sure that you're already demonstrating consistent performance at the next level and you've already checked all those boxes in terms of what qualifications and accomplishments are needed at the next level, you should not call in your political favors and leverage your network to get that promotion if you are not 90% sure that you will get it. Now, the same thing goes when you are trying to find external job opportunities as well. Before you call in those favors within your network to get a referral at their company, make sure your resume is ready to go and make sure you've done the interview prep so that you can pass these interviews and you don't embarrass yourself. Obviously, you don't want to hurt your chances of getting the job, but you got to remember that there is a person in your network who vouched for you, and you don't want to make them look bad either. And so if you want to make sure that you're able to ace all of these executive interview questions, make sure you click and watch this video that I put up on the channel right over here. Now, the next thing to remember when you are trying to network like a CEO is that you need to be very strategic with your career moves and changes. You need to know when it's best for you and your career to actually change jobs and get a new job at a different company, or if it's better to stick it out one more year and try and get a promotion internally. CEOs know when it's truly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that comes knocking that is worth changing jobs for. You should only be leaving your company and taking a new job if that new job or opportunity provides an increase in scope and responsibilities. Don't be fooled by higher job titles or maybe even a little bit more pay. You should be thinking about the role itself, what the scope is, and what you would be able to gain by taking this new job in terms of your career. Or another way to think about it is you need to think about what current experiences, accolades, or accomplishments your career does not have today, or what you're lacking in terms of what would be able to get you to the next level in the executive chain. And you need to be only taking jobs that would allow you to fill those gaps. And another thing that often goes overlooked, and sometimes is really hard to determine because everybody will try to lie and tell you this, but you should only be leaving, whether you're switching internally or externally, to join a team that is actually going to have exponential growth. You want to join a team or product area that has huge explosive growth potential in the future. If they're only growing at 5 to 10% right now, it's not really going to be that beneficial for your career and your scope because remember, the organization is not really building. This also means it'll be harder for you to demonstrate huge and massive impact if you're joining an organization or product team that isn't going to have that huge wow moment for you when you're able to talk about your accomplishments. This is really the only way you're able to see executives who have 10 to 15 years of experience compared to other counterparts who have 20 to 30 years of experience, sometimes double the amount of experience that they have. They're able to climb up the corporate ladder a whole lot faster because they were able to join companies or teams or product areas at the right time, and they were able to grow their career with that business unit. Now, I also want to make a very important disclaimer. None of these networking tips, principles, and tricks will even work for you if you don't have a good personal brand. So you should definitely watch this video on how to build your personal brand at work so that you can actually leverage your network to help you build your career. Well, thank you all for watching this video. Comment down below what other videos you want to see. Make sure you click subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't be afraid to shake things up.